Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride.
Hello, hello, hello. I hope everybody's doing well. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here tonight. It's Friday night. Oh, part of me disappeared. Just my hair, I suppose. Anyways, I hope you're all doing well tonight. Heidi, I was seeing that you're having an issue with YouTube. I get that. YouTube Daddy is a fickle master. But don't worry, you're amongst friends here. And Jessica, thank you so much. What a lovely way to start the show. Thank you. Members only is on Sundays, every Sunday. Is it date night? I think it is. We're all on a date together. Tell me what you had for dinner. If you didn't like what you had for dinner, tell me what you wish you had for dinner. We are going to rapid fire a bunch of different cases tonight, all in front of the same judge, but he was working it today. I will say that. Dinner. Asking about dinner reminded me about dinner. I haven't eaten yet, so I don't know. So that's on the agenda for later. But as of right now, I've got a coffee. I've got a hot coffee, but it's almost gone. So that's a bit of a problem, but we'll deal with that when it comes. Yeah, also reminder, if you're watching this now and you haven't subscribed, or you're watching it in the future and you haven't subscribed, please do that. It is so helpful and free on YouTube. Anywho, I numbered these. Let's get started. Oh, I've had coffee.
3 minutes. Court calls the matter of Danielle Thomas versus Brandon Thomas, 24-7702 PP. This time of day is set for motion hearing relative to a personal protection order. As Danielle Thomas is in the court, she's in pro se. Mr. Thomas is appearing as well in the courtroom, represented this case by Attorney Dawn Young. The court had briefed a moment ago off the record that Mr. Thomas has retained the services of Ms. Young, and I inquired whether Ms. Young filed an appearance in this matter. She has not, but she will. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Is that a fair statement of our conversation?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Thomas, is that a fair statement of our conversation as well? Regarding, we didn't talk about the case. I was just talking about whether or not Ms. Young was going to represent.
I suppose I knew nothing about any of this, so I don't know.
Nor
I don't know.
All right. Well, a personal protection order was entered in this case on May 10, 2024. Actually, it's filed on that date. The court had granted the request, and at this time, Mr. Thomas is challenging the personal protection order. The burden of going forward in this matter, the burden of persuasion rests upon the petitioner in this matter. So that's how we will proceed. Will both parties please raise your right hands?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Thomas, you have requested the personal protection order, which the court has granted. And what is your reason that you wish this personal protection order to continue?
Your Honor, honestly, he is continuing to follow me. He is continuing to watch me. He is using my animals that he will not return to me as some kind of wish to get me to speak with him. I actually have a list of multiple occasions that I have run into him, other things, on 3 separate occasions. Tuesday, May 14th.
I have to interject here. First of all, I like her style. People don't often stand up in court when they're pro se. She is taking this. I like it. I like it already. Bill, I love that. Thank you for that. It's Friday night. Let's make some noise. Jessica's helping too. Woo! Yeah. That is fun for Friday. Thank you guys so much. Hi, Hunter. And Grammy. Hello, hello, hello. Holding pets hostage is not nice. Have we been talking about this a couple times lately? Yesterday? Did we? Wait. It was not a fever dream. Last night we had a case where they traded engagement rings for dogs. I swear to goodness. Hi, Courtney. I swear that happened last night. So thank you guys again. Let's see. Like I said, this is our first of 3 cases. She's pro se. I have a weird feeling about this. I feel like, and in fact, the burden does change. The burden goes to him because uh, the protection order has been granted. That should be a pretty high burden to overcome, in my opinion, because the judge is already, it's not like it was granted ex parte. Like it was granted, it seems, fully. So that is weird. Uh she is dressed up. I thought we actually looked a bit alike with the long dark hair. Um you know a couple who dated in college and have been sharing custody of a cat for a decade. Oh my fucking god. Can you imagine what that cat is thinking? Anyways, if you're new here, oh, Courtney, I'm gonna have to kick you. No, I'm just joking. If you're new here, we joke around, and but we're pretty hard on everybody as they come up. So we'll be hard on her, and then we'll be hard on the next person, and all the time, all the way through. Okay, let's go.
Including the Friday, that following Friday, the 17th. I had a civil standby conducted with an officer where Brandon had tried to convince that officer to speak with me at that time under the reasoning that he wanted me to modify or terminate this order. The very next day after that Friday, he showed up unannounced at my house with another officer. The officer did not attempt to contact me, nothing. And that is actually the address that is listed on the PPO. And trying to get me to turn the power back on at his house after he had deleted my online account for that, changed the email address, changed the phone number so I could no longer access that utility account that was in my name. Since then, he passed by me one day when I was leaving my house for work. I have seen him sitting at the gas station that is 500 feet from my house almost every single morning since that day. He watches me go through the McDonald's drive-thru to get a drink on my way to work. I don't have air conditioning in my car right now, so it's hot. Station and get gas in my car because he is every single morning. He has continuously contacted my family and friends.
Okay, now I have even more problems. Why is this not being handled by a prosecutor? Why does she not have a victim's advocate? Why is she having to deal with this on her own? If this fucking protection order's already been granted, this is just an exercise in futility, and I don't think that it's appropriate. At this point, no. I'm sorry, no. I'm getting mad now because I believe her. She does not sound like she's lying. Hi, Mama Llama. This is bothersome. These are all, and as she's listing off the things that he's doing, they're very, very big red flags of danger for her. This is a very dangerous time if she's leaving a relationship or trying to escape him, basically. This is very serious. Very serious. Yeah. I really hope, I don't know if you need to rewind. I mean, maybe just a minute or two, but she's 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 representing herself. The TPO's already been granted, and he wants it taken away. And she doesn't. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't even understand what's going on here. Like, why did we get the opportunity to do this? If it's just been issued in May. This is what, Michigan, Huron, right?
I have numerous people that have told me he's come up to them in public. He's had many, many things to say. He's crying to random friends of mine in public, trying to convince anybody that he can to get me to stop this and to go back to his house, which is absolutely out of the question, especially as he continues to do this every chance. He is walking the lines of this PPO every single chance that he gets. Like I said, my dog, he has 2 dogs of his own. He will not return my animals to me. He's recently taken up a hobby of walking my dog at a park that is 3 blocks from my house. It's only my dog. He won't walk his own dogs, but he's coming within half a mile of my house almost every single day, knowing that I go to those areas. That park is my son's bus stop. He has not stopped at all. He's not respecting the PPO. He's not respecting my boundaries. And honestly, even after today coming here and saying these things, I'm worried that he will get even more angry. And I don't know what he will do. But I can tell you that he has continuously contacted my sister. For some reason, he trusts her. He tells her a lot of things that he probably shouldn't be telling her, including the fact that he will not stop or leave me alone until a judge or the courts force him to.
Anything else?
No, that's all.
Cross-examination.
Now Americans, with the PPO, on her own property, I mean, I'm not usually the type of person that like advocates for weapons. Hello, Kylie. But like, would she not be able to get one of those? And then like, I feel like I've heard people say, like, if somebody you've got a PPO again, I mean, I don't know. Is that just self-defense? Like, if she's allowed, like, on her property? Like, I don't know. I just feel very terrible for her. I do believe her. I think it's atrocious. I hope the judge sees through this, because I have a yucky feeling about all of this. And I don't like, again, that she's in court here by herself doing this. Why there's not a prosecutor handling this in other jurisdictions? There are prosecutors that handle this. In other jurisdictions, there's a different methodology for this. This seems weird to me. But I do like this judge. I don't think we'll hear from him because he just hired a lawyer at the last second, Landy. That's how we started this, was with them saying he's retained this lawyer who's not made an appearance yet. So we'll see. If his lawyer's any good, he shouldn't say a fucking word, right? That's my point. Now, if his lawyer's shit, oh, let's see. We got quite a bit of hearing left, so let's find out.
Any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Any further proofs that you wish to present at this time? Any other witness?
I don't have any witnesses with me. I didn't know if that, how all this works. I can't afford an attorney to help me with this. I do have some photos of him at the gas station near my house. I also know that, so I've been taking different, leaving that gas station minutes after through town. Twice last Friday, he had gone to Bad Axe, clearly to work, which is fine. That gas station that he cuts the grass at is only due to be cut every 10 days. So the other day I didn't come through the intersection at the gas station. He decided to drive to Bad Axe. This gas station in Bad Axe is right across the street from where I work. So I drive for Amazon and I'm always out by myself. He could get me a loan at any time.
Did you wish to present any proof?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Thomas actually works for a lawn company, and he has provided with me, he owns a lawn company, Tri-County Lawn and Snow, and he's tells me that when he goes to the gas station, that's an everyday thing where he's loading up for ice and drinks and to go out for his day. And then he's got a list of the places that he cuts grass every day or every 3 times a month.
He fucking owns that company, lady. I hate the angle in this courtroom for some reason. Go to the podium. I figured it out. They're supposed to go to the podium, but they don't go to the podium. Sorry, I'm bothered. I'm bothered that she's there by herself. I'm bothered that I know lawyers have to do this. I know lawyers have to fucking represent their clients, but it irks me that she's sitting there unrepresented and untaken care of, and he's got a woman to spew this bullshit. You don't need to go to the fucking gas station every day. Are you stupid? You're buying drinks every single day at the gas station and ice? I'm sorry, go to Costco and get a pallet or get a fucking case of it and keep it in the truck. Like, that's not good enough.
Where she's just happens to be there at the same time, and he's not engaging with her. He's leaving as soon as possible. He's having to be there for work. He has in the proposed PPO, the claims that she's making, he has never laid hands on her. He hasn't prevented her from leaving the house. It's his understanding that Miss Slade is having or Miss Thomas is having a mental health crisis, and he's been.
I'm sorry, she did not sound at all like she's having a mental health crisis, ma'am. And I'm sorry at this point. I'm sorry. First of all, any lawyer worth their weight, but should be asking for a continuance. If she just got onto the case and she couldn't even get a fucking file her appearance with the court, hi Cobalt, then she should be asking for a continuance. Okay? She should not be doing any of this argument. She should just be saying, like, this is ridiculous. Like, you can't, ma'am, did you just listen to her? Leaving him is not a mental health crisis. That's crazy. Like, I'm serious. The lawyer, if I've heard lawyers do this time and time and time and time and time again, Your Honor, I was just retained. I need time to review this file, to deal with discovery, to do with this, that, the other. I'm respectfully requesting a continuance of this case to the next available date that you think would be appropriate. And that's that. I can't even believe she's saying this. Ma'am, you didn't file an appearance, but you managed to remember that part? Oh, I'm all feisty tonight. I don't understand.
trying to get her help, and she's resisting that at this time, and that these claims are unfounded. And at this time, Mr. Thomas would like to say something.
Can I respond to those claims?
You will in a moment, yes. You're under oath, sir.
No, honey, let him talk, babe. Let him talk. You don't even worry about it. You just let him talk. This is a very bad lawyer, allegedly. This is an absolutely terrible lawyer right now, allegedly, in my opinion. These are the literally two things I was like, well, that's not going to happen. He retained a lawyer. So number one, she's going to request a continuance and they're not going to do anything. And number two, she's not going to let him talk. Did she just literally say he wants it? He didn't even what is going on here? Dude, I'm glad you're getting ripped off and you hired a shitty lawyer. Allegedly, in my opinion. Let's hear what he says. Maybe I'll change my mind. Wendy, I get that, but he's claiming like it's work related, like he has to do that at that gas station. I just don't get that. And I do need, yes, I need a joint and somebody to scratch my back because I'm getting freaking upset here. Hi, Fozzie. This is getting out of control. We're about to hear him, this guy. Oh, where's my excuse counter? We should change it to incriminator. How many times he incriminates himself? Let's see. Before we do, Jim, thank you so much. Members only on Sundays. I know, dude. Smoking a bowl. Jim again. Let's see. And again, I hope I'm wrong, but I'm going to tell you something. We listen to people with mental illness and like difficulty and active mental health crises, okay? They don't tend to sound like she did. She was extremely coherent. She put together a very compelling case as to why she's afraid of him. Hi, Jackie. And Wendy, thank you so much. You are so sweet. Awesome. I love it. You guys rock. But seriously, we've rarely heard of somebody putting this together so well for themselves. And once again, I have to say all of this is, in my opinion, not legal advice. Obviously, I'm a Canadian girl. I don't know what I'm talking about really, but in my Canadian alleged opinion, this is a really bad legal representation. Like the one thing we know is that you don't talk. You let the lawyer talk. It's terrible.
What would you like to tell the court?
First of all,
You can be seated. Oh, you're testifying.
okay. I work for GPM Investments. I had, this particular day was May 31st. I had to go, I have text messages right here from my boss, and I had emails that stated I had to be there so I could get full payment. As I was there that particular day, I had a problem with the app I have to use because I have to be GPS located on site. I spoke to my boss about it. He updated the app. As I was at that location in Bad Axe, I was inside the facility talking to a tenant that both of us know, and I was asked about my wife, and I proceeded to tell her, you know, things aren't good. And as I was doing that, I looked out the window, and my wife was pulled into a parking spot and got out and threw some trash away. I was inside the gas station at this time when it happened. She then drove through the door.
I was inside the gas station talking about my wife. Buddy, not a very good start. I always find it interesting Usually, like I said, when people can't, when people don't get represented, they tend not to be able to do this. But lucky for us, we're getting the full deal here. So what what he's I always find it interesting to see where they start. Where is he going to start? So he's started May 31st. It's obviously the one day he has fucking proof for, right? And then everything else is she's listed a lot of shit, you know? So I'm a little weirded out. But May 31st, I'm guessing, is the one day he has like solid proof, not allowed, he's allowed to and had to do all that. I'm a little worried about the other days. I really hope the judge sees through this. Oh, geez. I have a yucky feeling in my stomach.
Drive-through, and as that was happening, I went out to my truck and trailer and I got my mower off and I went out to the center island section and I was cutting that and I watched my wife come around close to my truck where it was parked and take pictures of it while I was on site working. I've also, like we were talking about, I do go to the gas station every morning. My wife has indicated problems that I wasn't getting up early enough, going to work early enough. It created a lot of stress because she had to deal with our children, school, home life, everything. I've recently changed that since this has all started. I understand where my wife is coming from. I understand my downfalls with her. Our communication is slim to none. And our resolution to be able to resolve problems is something that we need counseling or marriage counseling to do. I'm in therapy right now. I've been going multiple days. I've had 5 sessions since the 23rd because that was the earliest I could get in. I've been able to come home early. I've been able to
So this was her honey-do list before. Honey, do wake up early and help me with the kids. Honey, do once in a while without being, don't be an asshole. But this has nothing to do with the judge. The judge does not give a fuck about this. How early you're getting up. He's in full denial. She don't want you back, dude. She is done.
get a lot of work done in the morning, come home early, do things with the kids, take the dog for a walk. I'm trying to be the man that she wants me to be and show my wife that I can change things. I don't want to hurt my wife by any means. That is the love of my life right there. I have gone to the park to walk the dog. I've lost 22 pounds since this has started.
22 pounds since May 23rd? Sir? It doesn't count if you had a fat cat that you now left at her house. You can't claim that as 22 pounds lost. But guess what? You have to do the long work. You lost out, my guy. Oh, the judge better not fucking if the judge. Okay, Paisley, you just gotta listen because oh my god. Also, the lawyer's got her hand on her head. You should, lady. You should. This is inappropriate. You should have told your client that he had no business talking. That's why he hired you. That you're gonna get a continuance and you're gonna shut up. I'm fucking crazy. This is really upsetting to me. And yes, that's exactly right. Peace out, dude. She sounds so done and he is not done and all of the stuff is even more creepy. This is an exceptionally dangerous time for her. Hi, Bob. Yes, I'm going crazy. I also just heard an alarm. I think it's my fridge. Somebody left my fridge open. I gotta go change it.
I'm trying to do everything right. I'm trying to help my wife. I've talked to her sister that she's talking about in Alabama. She's my sister-in-law, and I don't know what to do. I'm trying to understand my wife. I'm trying. I've been dealing with her mental stuff for over 2 years. I have been there for almost every single doctor's appointment. I've been there through counseling appointments. I was on all the paperwork, all the HIPAA paperwork, everything, trying to do this treatment with her and get the, she's got major depressive disorder and generalized anxiety disorder. And she's been put on medication for this. The 1st of March, she was, end of February, we had to come back from Florida because my mom had a quadruple bypass and she wasn't doing very well. After we came back from that, she started to reduce her medications, according and with our family doctor. And when this discussion took place with our family doctor, I says, you know, I'm here for you, babe. You know, it's going to be a roller coaster ride. She's been on different medications and changed. She knows I'm there. I'm there to support. When these instances started going down, the arguments, the fighting, the erratic behaviors, I actually had to go to our family physician and ask him for help. He proceeded to talk to her and tried to get her to take her medication, and she flipped out in the room and took off running. Dr. Rostam told me that we need to have her admitted.
That's hearsay.
Well, right.
Or can't consider
Right. I begged him not to do it because I didn't want to do that to my wife. I know how she feels about this stuff. At the time of the incident, this last incident was started over my 12-year-old getting a cell phone back. And she lost it in our vehicle as I was driving down the road. And I was so confused on what to do. It ended up in an altercation between her and my 15-year-old daughter fighting in the truck as I'm driving down the road. And I didn't know what to do. I'm scared. I want help for my wife. So I went to HBH to try to get her help. I broke down in your hallway right out here because I did not want to turn that paperwork in for my wife. It's the last thing I've ever wanted to do to her. But I didn't know what else to do. I'm confused. And I've listened to our doctor. I've been with all these psychologists and everything.
Is this just super gaslighting? I think that's what's happening right now. He's gaslighting all of us. Sir, her having major depressive disorder and generalized anxiety disorder doesn't make her unable to decide to leave you. The incident you're talking about hasn't sounded like an incident. Sounds like the precipice for you to fuck off. She might be crazy, but being crazy or having mental illness like that doesn't preclude her from making her own mental health decisions, her own decisions in who she wants to live with, and if she wants to get divorced. So I find it disconcerting because regardless if she is as sick as he thinks, then that's just it. That's just the way it is. Like, she will either get help via another avenue without him, or she will do something horrible. But she'll continue to live on the way she has. I mean, the whole point, what I'm trying to say is that he is not the fix here. He can't pretend like he's the one thing that will fix this problem. That's not how that works. So, again, the TPO is or the PPO has already been issued. At this point in time, I am very hopeful that this judge shuts this down. The whole little like recitation of he's basically just gaslighting us all right now. I don't like it. I'm not appreciative. I hope what the judge says to her when she goes, "Your Honor, can I respond to that?" I hope he says, "You don't even need to. Here's what I'm gonna do."
That we've been through. I just, I'm lost. This is my wife.
So you filed something with the probate court?
Yes,
What happened with that?
they came and got her and took her to Shore Hospital and released her 20 minutes later. There was no, I don't understand why that happened. I know that there's meds that she still should actually be on, but she refuses to take them.
Oh, but she's so manipulative. She managed to fool those doctors in 20 minutes. First of all, how do you know that? How do you know how long it took? Secondly, that's just more gaslighting. You filed the paperwork and they released her. I'm sorry, sir. Your entire argument is now out the fucking window.
I spoke to other people like she's talking about. She worked at Crutch's Barbecue in Sebring. I've talked to Steve and I've talked to Lacey both. Steve is the owner and he has explained.
We can't go into what was said.
Okay. A lot of the stuff that's in this personal protection order happened years ago and it's out of context. She has stated in there that I have locked her in her room. She pulled a knife on me in our in the kitchen, walked through the dining room. We had an argument. She pulled a knife. I walked up behind her. I took it from her. Tossed it. We both fell on the floor. She bit the tip of my thumb. I had 7 stitches put in my thumb. As that happened, we got up. I put her in the room and closed the door while I could clean up, and the kids were all out. I then heard a bang, and it was her kicking the air conditioner out of the window. She was trying to climb out the window, and this is where she's talking about escaping. That window is 16 to 18 feet off the ground over top of a wood pile. I don't want to see my wife hurt. So I wrapped my arms around her torso and put her back on the bed and said, just relax, stay in here and relax. That is it. I have stood last summer in the backyard and I was punched 16 times by her in my right eye to the point it was black and blue. When she was done, I asked her if she felt better. Because who's going to stand there and take that? I've taken a lot of stuff from my wife. And I don't want any charges, anything like that on her. There was a kitchen knife that was thrown across the dining room and went into a computer monitor. I begged the police not to put out any type of, charges because I didn't want my wife to go through that. I know it's not her. She has a problem with maintaining her stress. And I know I do as a husband, I do add a lot to that stress. And I am trying to change that through therapy, understanding a lot of the stuff that's in the past with me.
Okay, hi guys, welcome. Thank you, Colin, for the raid. If you're just getting here, we are in the middle of a motion to overturn a PPO that has already been issued. It's the gentleman woman speaking right now. Husband, the ex, what or the his partner, his wife who's trying to divorce him is has already got the PPO once and he's now asking for it to be taken away. She's raised some really, really serious worries and concerns, and he's claiming that she's crazy and needs to be committed to the hospital. Though he tried to do that, they took her to the hospital and let her go. Anyways, we are about to hear what the judge says. It sounds like they do have children. They're older, in their teens, and we are in the state of Michigan. Also, a quick reminder and an ask, if you are new here, please go ahead and subscribe. Or if you've been here a while, check and make sure you're subscribed. We are very close to hitting and getting our buffer zone for 2K. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And let's continue.
I'm trying to understand my wife. There's a lot of things that she would yell, scream, or nag at me about, and those were more cries for help, but I wasn't perceiving it as that. I was taking it as just as it was. She's yelling and nagging at me. I am trying my best to reconcile what we have. We have a 5-year marriage. I've been raising her son, my stepson, since he was 2. She's been a very good mother. She's taken my girls in. They look up to her. My 15-year-old is really hurt by the situation. She is very apologetic about it. She's not, I don't know how to explain it, Your Honor. This following her around and whatnot is, I own a business. I have to travel from Bad Axe to North Branch, Birch Run. I'm all over the place. I have multiple things to do. That's my livelihood. Our paths are gonna cross. This park is the only park in Sebring. I take my dog to it, our dog that we've raised together, just to go on walks, to clear my mind, to try to fix myself and have some me time. My wife and I have been stuck at hip for 5 years. We've done everything together. It doesn't matter what it is. We've had many vacations, we've had many arguments. We've had all kinds of stuff in 5 years. But at the end of the day, I don't want to see nothing happen to her. I don't want her hurt. I want to be able to comfort her, love her, show her that I've changed a lot of the things that she had a problem with. Those things being, not helping as a father. I was in a downward depressional spiral this last winter, especially. She would have.
I think we have reached it. Thank you so much, MB. You are so sweet. I am looking here. We have a little buffer. Please don't go unsub and crush my dreams, people. But thank you so much. Thank you. Also, this is out of control. This is very scary. I've been saying it the whole time. These are danger signs. These are absolutely red flags for this woman's safety if he is tracking her down, doing all these things, and she doesn't want to. It's just not the way to do it. Oh, Heidi, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Oh my God, I'm serious. We are, I think, really at 2K. Oh, I really appreciate it, you guys. Thank you so much. Seriously, I appreciate each and every one of you. He's making a speech to her in front of the judge. I don't even think the judge should be allowing it. I've already said he is represented by not the most ideal lawyer, but Jim, 2K reward. Thank you so much. Oh my God, you guys. I'm so excited for a new number. 2 in front of. Whew. Oh, it's going. We're going. Thank you guys so much. Also, this is, and Heidi, thank you as well. Like, seriously, thank you all, thank you all, thank you all. Um, this is, I mean, I'm excited about that personal achievement of 2K. This guy's a jerk. A very, very, very possessive language. Um, do they acknowledge me with a milestone subscription? When I hit 100K down the road one day, um, we did it. You were very, I know, like, mom, I'm honestly a little bit of like, it's a little bit of a scared thing. Like, does he actually pre-framing? Does he actually judge is like, did you not hear what he said? Well, he's waking up early. You're gonna have like that's not how that works. Um, increasingly loons from here on in. Well, I don't agree. I think we have a great group of people and we are already crazy. On the first channel that we had, that we have, technically we still have, it's over 3,000. I don't even know how many is on KCC 1.0, but between the two of them, it's almost 5,000. And I do appreciate each and every one of you guys. I appreciate the donos if you can give them, but I mostly appreciate you being here, your comments, and your likes. YouTube Daddy is a fickle master, but I love the game, so I enjoy being here. And I'm addicted to court. I have so much of it, and I love hanging out with you guys and watching it. And Beverly, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, celebration. And we are a little family here, and I love that. I love that part. It is it's a great place to be. All right, let us continue along. Oh, YouTube Daddy. Oh, YouTube Daddy, calm yourself down. Okay, here we go.
Dinner done and I would come home and grab my plate and go hide. That's not what I'm doing. And it started to upset her and I wasn't paying attention to that. And it just snowballed until we got to this situation where she filed the summons for the divorce. And then all of a sudden the PTO order. I'm not trying to make my wife feel uncomfortable by any means. And I haven't been able to tell her this in the last 3.
You're making us uncomfortable, my dude. You're not supposed to be able to tell her these things. This is yucky.
Weeks. I want, and I encourage her, and I have paperwork here from my therapist to have her come and what it's called
Coordination of care.
Coordination of care, where she can come in and sit down and see what I'm doing, what the tools are that I'm using to try to better myself. I mean, I don't know much more to really say.
I think I've heard enough.
I love my wife and I want the best for us. That's what I want. I just want to be able to speak to her. Our dog is having surgery on the 12th. I would like to go together to take her there and have that done. We have festival together, but I want to move slow. I want to start over, per se. I don't want to rush things. I want to rekindle where we first fell in love and move forward. That's all I want to do. And I've explained this to her sister because I have nobody else to really talk to. I have my children. But, you know, they don't kind of understand where I'm coming from, but I really, I want the best for us and my family.
This is your request for a personal protection order, which was granted. You have the burden of persuasion. You have the right to comment. This is the final comment relative to all this. Go ahead.
Do I need to stand?
You don't need to.
Ma'am, oh, remember what I said? I really hope that he's super delusional. I feel so bad for her. I feel bad for the sister. All of those, he's admitted to so many violations. Cole, so many violations. Also, you guys, I think we really did hit 2K. Oh my God, we almost have a 10 person buffer. Why did he bother hiring an attorney? Like, this is not good. This is just bad situation. And I just, it's just a yucky feeling. She is without an attorney. She is pro se because, first of all, and I've already complained about that because the thing is, she is she already got the TPO. So first, she already won first, but it should now be in the hands of a prosecutor, I think, because this is not acceptable to have to ask her to represent herself in this case. My goodness. Thank you so much, Mayor. And then, do my eyes deceiveth me? No, they don't. Grizzly old fart. Thank you. Oh my God, you guys are amazing. Members only on Sunday, right after Court Watchers Anonymous. Thank you guys so much. Oh my goodness. I said that too. I said, why does she not have a victim's advocate? Why is there not at least somebody else handling this? I really hope that I really wish the judge had just said, I've heard enough, we don't need this. But I really hope that he just leaves it in place. Oh, please, judge, please, please don't make me fucking spaz. Because I have a funny feeling I might spaz out if there's any sort of amendment made to this. Let's see what happens.
Okay. So regarding the gas station situation, he's absolutely there to purposefully appear in front of me, which I believe he just admitted to you. He is not getting gas. He is not buying anything. He's not in the store. He is parked on the opposite side of the building that I come from, sitting in his truck every single day. He's not at the gas pump. He's not walking out of the store. He's sitting in his truck watching me. The situation with the Bad Axe gas station, the day that he came here, again, yes, I understand that he has to work. I understand that he works in Bad Axe. He has 2 lawns in Bad Axe, less than a day's worth of work in Bad Axe. He has maybe a day and a half worth of work in Sebring. He works in Caro, he works in Cass City, he works in North Branch, Kingston, Bay City, all of which are the opposite direction of Sebring.
He knows all of his business, Mikey, and thank you so much. Appreciate your help and support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Seriously. It's not quite 50K. Actually, good reminder. Tomorrow, Mikey's having a party. And we're all invited. It's a 50K party celebration over on his main channel. So make sure that you're there 5 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night. I think it's going to be a good time. Now we have a little 2 celebrations to have. Thank you so much. Seriously. This is a serious, I keep thinking they're saying badass, by the way, but they're saying bad axe. Bad axe. No thanks for credence. No. Thanks, Creed. Creed's never gonna about. Yeah, it's for Mikey. He knows. I think Creed will show up though at the celebration. And that's true. There's the real truth on that one, right? Um, and yeah, check out Credence and Mikey. Um, okay, Bad Axe, Michigan. Hi, Victoria.
He does not have any reason to be at that gas station the majority of the days of the week. As far as him, this whole, I'm allegedly having a mental breakdown situation, this is all a game of control. He has been telling me and threatening me that he's gonna have me hospitalized for so long to prevent me from standing up for myself and to prevent me from getting help. And when it didn't work out for him, he got very upset. And I would like to note that he requested that I be taken to a specific hospital that his friend's wife happens to be very high up in. As soon as I was taken there by the police, he left his home and went to that woman's house so that she could call the hospital to find out what was going on with me.
That's fine.
He will not leave me alone. It has been made very, very clear to him that I am not interested at all in reconciling, and he is refusing to believe it, to accept it. I'm really not sure. As far as him stating that he has never attempted to stop me from leaving, that is a bold-faced lie. I have witnessed to multiple occasions where this has happened. I have no problem bringing them in or getting statements from those people if you would like. Anytime that I may have gotten violent with him is in response to those situations because I am unable to get away from him. He has broken my cell phone so that I cannot call for help. He takes my car keys so that I can't leave. When I leave on foot, he gets in his vehicle and he follows me, harassing me until I either get in the car myself or he forcibly puts me in the car.
Ms. Thomas, I've really heard enough on this, and I appreciate the input from both of you. The court has to explain why or why not a PPO should either be continued or denied. I've read the response from the respondent in this case, and primarily the response is relative to wanting to reconcile therapy, counseling, trying to turn this thing around. And that's the tenor of Mr. Thomas's statement. However, according to the testimony of the
Okay, before the judge, oh God, he's just said, however. I hope he's not gonna fucking make me freak out here because I will, and I don't want to. Thank you. There's the DV hotline. Seriously, if you need help like this lady did, please, please, please. I'm so mad that she does not have an advocate with her. Oh, this is terrible. This is not how this system should be working. Anyways, please call for help, but also, the judge is in charge of like, this is a like funny aside, but the judge, we call him like Judge Remote Control because he's in charge of the camera in this court with the remote control. And I think he's so like wound up that he's forgotten to switch the camera angle over to himself. Did you see that like when she just sank into her chair like that? Oh, yeah. Terrible news. It's very scary, just terrible. And I hope it was a however in her favor. I'm gonna shut up now, and hopefully I don't have to freak out.
petitioner, as well as reviewing the petition of this matter, it's clear to the court that Ms. Thomas does not want to have a relationship with the respondent at this time. She wants to go her separate ways, and every time, I shouldn't say every time, but when it's near her home, gas station, etc., there he is. There is sufficient basis to continue this personal protection order. The court is going to continue it according to the previous terms ordered in this case. I also want to make reference to, I believe there was a complaint filed regarding the court and the one of the county clerks of this, deputy clerks of this matter. The deputy clerk that provided me this personal protection order request simply provided me the information. I don't get any information from anyone relative to a personal protection order or any other matter unless it's here in the courtroom. So any allegations of anyone with the clerk's office trying to prove something either way to either side is completely untrue. I read the personal protection order request on my own and made my own decision without any input from anyone. With the input I provided today, there's a sufficient basis to continue the PPO and shall continue until the expiration date of November 13, 2024. No order needs to be presented. This matter is already into the lien system, and I can only caution you, Mr. Thomas, at this point, follow the terms of the PPO. The flip side of this is if there's a show or law enforcement has reasonable cause to believe that you violated it, you can be arrested. So I would strongly encourage you to read over the terms of the personal protection order with your attorney, follow those terms, and we'll move forward. That is my rule in this case. Both parties are free to go, but then this time is out first.
Okay, phew. I don't have to flip out because the judge left the PPO in place. Thank gosh. That's the right move. That was the right move. Now, what my American friends would say is go get yourself a pew pew, sweetie, and build a big fence. And I don't know. I guess I don't know what else to tell her. This is a very dangerous freaking point for her at this point. We're going to put on the next one. I don't know what it's about. Let's find out together. It's the same judge though. Bingo. Okay, well, apparently this one's no good because the audio is not working on it. Okay. Damn it.
Yes. Lori, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Counsel ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Lori, ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. On the record, please. We have the record matter of Jason Haig versus Thomas Haig, 245918 CK. This is the defendant's motion to dissolve a temporary restraining order. Kyle T. O'Mara appears on behalf.
Oh my God, are you joking again? We just fucking did this. These are rare hearings. Oh, Jesus Christ. I literally thought we were like moving on to something a little less fucky. And apparently we're not. So still chance I could freak the fuck.
Defendant, on behalf of the plaintiff in this case, who is present before the court, Attorney Adam Flory, and Mr. O'Mara, you may proceed. Thank you.
Your Honor, as you've indicated, I filed this motion to dissolve temporary restraining order on behalf of my client, Thomas Haig, who is present before the court. Your Honor, if you'll recall, this Tuesday, I believe, 4th, plaintiff through counsel filed a motion for a temporary restraining order, which was granted by this court without notice pursuant to the applicable court rule. It's my understanding, and as has been sworn to by my client in the affidavit attached to my motion, that armed with that temporary restraining order, the plaintiff entered property owned by my client in Tuscola County and planted beans on Tuesday evening. Your Honor, the problem with that is that the complaint that's been filed in this matter and the temporary restraining order signed by this court on the 4th applied to a different property located in Tuscola County owned by my client. Unfortunately, Your Honor, we can't unring this bell. The court grants my motion to resolve the restraining order. Obviously, seed's not coming out of the ground, but my concern and the reason I filed this on short notice pursuant to the court.
Hold on, the seed's not coming out of the ground? Is that what he just said? It's totally doable to take a seed out of the ground. That's a terrible analogy. That's incredibly simple to do. So I'm really really confused as to why he would say that. Like, that's neither difficult nor a lot to ask. If you for example, like it's not akin to cutting down a tree that's been growing for 20 years. Like, I'm laughing now. Like, where did he hear that? What did he mess? But even if he means the seed growing into a plant, plants you can easily pull out. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a Farm Bill reference I don't get.
Rule is because, in effect, it seems that the plaintiff believes he can take this order and plant any property owned by my client that he wishes, whether or not it's identified in the restraining order. I'm sure, Your Honor, that counsel will claim that this was purely accidental, was a mistake. Unfortunately, because of the way this was handled in filing it as a motion for a temporary restraining order rather than a preliminary injunction, without the opportunity to have notice of their request or to have a hearing regarding this matter, my client didn't have the ability to even view the order on the evening in question. It was, I think, a copy was briefly shown to the trooper in my client's presence. So, Your Honor, based on my motion, the affidavit that has been attached, I'd ask that you dissolve the temporary restraining order. And in light of the circumstances as I've referenced, and it has been requested in my motion, we're asking for costs in this matter. Very well. Thank you. Floor.
Your Honor, my computer speaker is defective, so I'm wearing AirPods. I hope they're clear. If you can't hear me for any reason, please let me know. Your Honor, as the court is aware, I'm covering for Mr. Miles, who is out of the state right now. Initially, Your Honor, I would just like to note that with this property in question, we were advised by our client that the property at issue was the subject of the lawsuit. Mr. Miles chose to file the motion as a verified motion, having been reviewed and signed by our client. So to the extent there was a mistake, Your Honor, we want to be sure that we advise the court that we apologize for the mistake, and we don't want the court to be under the impression that our firm or any of the attorneys played any role in that. Again, we thoroughly discussed the matter with our client and were told repeatedly which property was being referenced, and the specific parcel number was put in the order. So Mr. Miles drafted the TRO order specifically in a very narrow manner to apply to the parcel that was identified by our client. And so again, this was an absolute innocent misunderstanding. Our client was mistaken, but I just want to make it clear to the court that for our professional reputation and for the court's edification, that again, we were told it was the property that was included in the order. Only later did we find out that our client was under a different impression than what he had originally told us. So with that being said, Your Honor, I would submit the following, Judge. Mr. Miles will be moving within the next week or so to file an amended complaint. The amended complaint will include the property that was planted under the TRO. So those properties will become part of this suit. So again, we've put the cart.
You guys, are they actually talking about something that's been planted? Are we fucking so stupid because we thought he was talking about a saying and they're actually talking about planted material? Like seedling? Oh my God. I thought he was saying he's gonna be moving in a week, but he's moving in like within the motion. He's like making motion. I know. I know.
Before the horse a bit through a mistake through our client, but it's in our view, Your Honor, just other than the impropriety of the timing, it's no harm, no foul, because these will be part of this lawsuit. The same allegations that apply to the first parcel apply to these parcels. The same oral agreement that applied to the first parcel that's part of the suit currently is applied to these other parcels, which upon the filing of the amended complaint will also be part of the suit, Your Honor. And so, Your Honor, I would respectfully submit that because it's the same circumstances, the TRO should remain in place or perhaps be converted to a preliminary injunction, because the only reason the defendants at this point would want the TRO dissolved is if they planned to interfere later with activities of our client on the field. And so presuming that they don't intend to do that, there's no harm to them for the TRO. Again, we apologize for the misunderstanding, which again was directed to us by our client, and we had him review the motion and sign it verified. So the timing of it was not ideal, and it was an innocent mistake for which we apologize. But at the end of the day, Your Honor, again, we would submit that it's no harm, no foul, because the amended complaint is forthcoming. It will include these parcels that were planted, and it will be encompassed in the lawsuit. And again, the reason I can see why the defendants would want a TRO is because they want to interfere with the planting of these parcels, which is what the suit is about. And again, these parcels will be included in the suit once the amended complaint is filed, Your Honor. So
are you saying that for like safety reasons it's probably a clip-on, or physics? Like just standard physics? Like the fact that he's able to breathe and it appears to be like around his neck, are you thinking that it's a clip-on? I think this is just, I'm assuming that this is a TRO, a temporary restraining order, in a civil case. But like I said, same judge. And thanks, Asgard. Hi in Denmark. That's awesome. I think it's actually land that they planted with seeds. I know, I think fucked it up, to tell you the truth. I think, yeah, maybe rhododendrons or
with that, Your Honor, I'd be happy to answer any questions the court may have, but we would respectfully request that the court enter an order denying the motion and affirming the TRO, at least in time, Your Honor, for the amended complaint to be filed, and then perhaps a motion on a full preliminary injunction can be held at that time.
Thank you, Mr. Roman.
Your Honor, as you are aware, the applicable standard in the court rule is not whether it's not going to harm my client if the court keeps a TRO in place. The burden that was supposed to be established by the plaintiff in requesting the TRO was that there would be irreparable harm if the court didn't grant the order. And they failed to meet that because they weren't even talking about the property that they planted. So it's clearly deficient on its face. And Your Honor, talking about putting the cart before the horse, what recourse does my client have now? He wasn't afforded notice, wasn't afforded the opportunity to even contest, review, discuss this matter with me before plaintiff ran to the court, got an order which was deficient on its face, and planted the property. Your Honor, my client, and I believe this was included in the affidavit, he can confirm that the actual property that's the subject of the lawsuit has corn that's a foot high because it was planted a month ago.
Oh my God, what is that corn meme? That kid, the corn.
And there was no objection by my client at the time when the plaintiff wanted to plant that field. So, Your Honor, I don't think there's any basis under the court rule, under the law, for you to continue this TRO. Whether or not there's some plan in the future to amend the plaintiff's complaint. This afternoon, Your Honor, I'll be filing not only an answer to the original complaint, but a motion for change of venue, because all of this property is located in Tuscola County. And the law is clear that this is a matter involving real property. So venue is appropriate in Tuscola County, not even before this court. Thank you.
You're welcome. The motion to dissolve the TRO is granted. Clearly, the information provided in the court, I can state for the record, when the phone call was made regarding this TRO, the court didn't speak with anyone. Personally, the court staff did. And I inquired whether or not there was counsel on the other side, making sure, because these TROs are very sweeping. They're granted. The court wanted to make absolutely sure. There was no counsel at the time on the other side, but clearly it's not subject of a lawsuit in this case. Motion is granted. What are you requesting for costs, Mr. Romero?
Your Honor, I haven't prepared an accounting at this point because of the expedited nature of this proceeding, but I can submit that. I can file a separate motion for costs with that accounting if you'd like.
Why don't you submit a motion?
Thank you. And I have prepared a proposed order dissolving the temporary restraining order because Mr. Flory was intending to appear by Zoom. I asked my staff to email that to him this morning. I'm not sure if he's received it and had an opportunity to review it, but should I approach?
You may.
Your Honor, just for the record, I have not received an email from Mr. Romero's staff, and I've not had an opportunity to review the order. But obviously, the court, under the court rules, is free to enter the order at this time, commensurate with the court's decision.
Let me read it into the record. This matter having been brought on to be heard upon the motion of defendant Thomas Haig and the parties having appeared with their counsel in the court after hearing arguments of counsel and being fully advised of the premises. It is hereby ordered that the defendant's motion to dissolve temporary restraining order is hereby granted, and the temporary restraining order issued in this cause on June 4, 2024 is hereby dissolved and of no further force in effect. It is hereby further ordered that this order does not resolve the last pending claim and the case remains open. That's the language contained within the order. Mr. Flory,
Your Honor, Your Honor, I would agree that that order meets the substance of the court's ruling this morning. And we obviously cannot approve it as to content, but we would approve it as to form.
Very well. I'll execute the order at this time, Mr. Flory.
Thank you.
Thank you. That'll conclude the proceedings. Thank you. Well,
Thank you, Your Honor.
you're welcome.
Wow. What a corny case. I honestly don't even know what that was about, to be honest with you. But let's find one more since the other one wasn't working, like it didn't have audio, which is so weird. Give me a second. Also, there was just a car alarm going off, and I was like, I'm gonna have to. It was going off for like 2 minutes, and I was just like, this is so loud. And now, shut up. I think this is I don't think we've done this one yet. But we'll find out together very soon.
Ms. Boyce, you can hear us and see us?
Yes, sir.
No, we have not. We haven't. We definitely haven't. Mark this as attire not to wear to court. Pretty obviously. Let's see.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you, Mr. Williams, as well. Let's go on the record, please. Court calls the matter of Electra Boyce versus Carl L. Williams, 14-205522-DP. This is the plaintiff's motion regarding custody, parenting time, and domicile. Parties are present. Ms. Boyce appears via the Zoom application. Mr. Williams appears in the courtroom. Ms. Boyce, you live in Huron County yet, correct?
Yeah, I had to go out of town to pick up a package for my daughter for her birthday because my neighbors stole the original package and we had to file a police report, so we had to ship it to a different address.
Okay, well, if you're local, we require you to be in the courtroom. So, but we'll proceed. Will both parties please raise your right hands?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes. Sorry, I didn't hear you, Ms.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Can I hear from the front of the court on this first? Mr. Holt, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. The order regarding custody and parenting time that was entered October 30th, 2023, Your Honor, granted the parties joint legal custody of the minor child, with defendant having sole physical custody. The parties also have week-to-week parenting time year-round from Monday to Monday, alternating holidays, and any other time they mutually agree.
That's during the summer.
You're right, week-to-week year-round.
Oh, it's week to week year-round. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
yes,
I misheard you. I apologize.
I did attempt to have mediation with the parties. I did conduct it separately, with one party at a time. Unfortunately, we were not able to reach an agreement during ADR. The one agreement, I guess, that we did reach was that the defendant, Mr. Williams, would have the minor child from when school got out, which I believe was just yesterday, the 6th, until tomorrow, up until her birthday celebration that is planned. I did draft an order of that and sent it to the parties to sign electronically. Mr. Williams had signed it. I have not received a signed notification from.
Could you resend it to me? I didn't get it in my email when I checked my email like 2 days ago and I didn't have anything, Mitch. Sorry.
I would just ask Your Honor that with the parties being present, that's still in their agreement, that with whatever the outcome today, that just be added.
Very well. Mr. Williams, is that your understanding of the agreement? At
Yes.
least what you agreed to?
Yes.
Ms. Boyce, is that what you understand as well, being the agreement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Court will order that, and then the court will just sign the order. You can present it to the court. All right, Ms. Boyce, you are requesting custody, parenting time, and domicile. Go ahead, please.
So I know that we had agreed to the week on, week off back in October last year, but prior to that, back in August, when I had moved back to Huron County, Carl had pretty much dropped Isadora off, and I understood at the time like his living situation was out of his control. Like I guess his housing that he had for a long time switched owners, like the owner passed away and they started remodeling it, so they kicked all of the tenants out and he lost his home. So he asked me if I would help take care of her, and I was like, of course I would. And then I took the cat that he had and everything too. And then like while during that time frame, he was supposed to try and find other housing and stuff like that, which he did attempt to find. It's just that he hasn't been able to find other housing, so he's staying with a friend. And then he was seeing her like every day after school at least, and I was fine with that. You know, you didn't have somewhere stable for her to stay, but he would show up every day after school and every morning and drop her off. And then it went from that to him slowly not doing that. and he wasn't taking her on weekends and stuff. And there was a point, which is documented in the App Close app that I forwarded, where he didn't pick her up from school at one point when he was supposed to, and a stranger gave her a ride home from school. And that was very upsetting. And then his parenting time slowly kept diminishing even more and more after that. And then he went like almost 2 months without seeing her. And then he's seen her around Christmas time. It was like after Christmas. And I told him that he could take her during the Christmas vacation and everything. I offered that to him and told him, you know, like we had our plans from like the first day of Christmas break to like the day of Christmas. I said, you can pick her up Christmas at 6 p.m. and you can have her all the way till they go back to school. And he didn't do that. And then, you know, I kind of got after him about it a little bit, and he came around like here and there again. And then, he had like stopped showing up again, and then I started talking to Lauren, his ex-girlfriend, and then me and Lauren were talking about it, and I think Lauren yelled at him because then he started like showing up for softball games and stuff. That since we had our mediation with Mitch, he did offer to take her finally last weekend, as well as that Memorial Day weekend. So now this is the third weekend in a row. But I'm very upset that it took this escalation for him to start participating in his daughter's life again, because she literally worships the ground her father walks on. Like, this little girl idolizes him so much. And I have seen so much pain in her eyes and so much hurt. And there were moments where he would pick her up and he would take her for an hour, and then he would drop her back off, and she would come in the house crying, and I would ask her, what's wrong? And she would tell me, well, my dad said that he had to bring me back because he had to go pick up his girlfriend's kid and things of this nature. And like, that really hurt my feelings, because I know the relationship that they had and the relationship that she wishes that they still continued to have. And I put Isadora in counseling to try and help her with a lot of these things. And there was a lot of acting out and behavioral changes that were very out of character for her that she has experienced. And I did speak with Mitch about all of those things, and they are all documented as well on the App Close app, from me reaching out to Carl. And Mitch admitted himself as well that when I do address those things with him, that he just kind of disregards them and brushes them off. But these are things that I feel are important for her and for me. And I didn't know what else to do besides have to bring him back to court. And like, if you're not going to take her for the week on, week off, which I really don't feel like he's stable enough right now to be doing that. He doesn't have his job anymore. He's doing DoorDash for work and stuff like that. And when he does have her and he's doing the DoorDash, he has to stay down here in the city with his cousin, which is fine because that's a safe place for her. But, you know, like, it just doesn't feel like it's the most stable for her right now. So I would be fine with doing it every other weekend, or like 3 weekends a month, and he can still see her during the week. You know, if he wants to pick her up and take her out for dinner or things of that nature. You know, I'm not trying not allow him to be there for her. I actually am doing the opposite, and I'm saying, I don't know what happened, what caused this lapse and this fall.
She has been talking steady, and this is from somebody who gets told to shut up a lot, because I talk a lot, and that's okay. But this is it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm hoping that she's not on drugs and that she's just frustrated, but I feel sorry for Isadora.
Back, but she needs you, and I would like him to come back into her life. And if this is all we can do right now while he's trying to get back on his feet and get back stable, then that's fine. But he needs to commit to that, and he needs to continue to show up for her.
Thank you. Mr. Williams.
Yes.
Your response to all this, sir.
During the time that she said that I was not available for Isadora, I actually ended up very sick, and I ended up having a double ear infection that left me with vertigo. So I was unable to even get around and get up on my feet. I fell down the steps multiple times. I crashed my vehicle multiple times, had to get everything taken care of. By the time I got the medication for it, that's what led to me losing my job, because it kept leaving me drowsy, dizzy, parts like that. So at the time, we were trying to figure out between me and Isadora, because of the conflict between me and Electra. Every time, it seemed like every other time that we had a conversation, we get into some type of argument or everything. So I just text my daughter's phone and ask her whenever her mom felt it was okay for her to come out, that's when we would do that. But the issue became of when I was doing the weekends, I wasn't able to pick Isadora up directly from school to help with the time during that I was helping my girlfriend do her situation with her daughter and her ex-boyfriend. So it was like, okay, well, if I can't get you now, then I'll try to come Saturday or Sunday. And then with the whole
It almost
school.
sounds like you're putting your girlfriend's children's interest in front of your own daughter's.
I mean, I really could only work on the weekends in general, because with Benedict's, I probably make $200-300 in a whole week. But if I go down to the city and work, I can make $300-400 in like 2 hours doing DoorDash. So I was trying my best to see her every day.
Fuck you, you cannot. You're fucking nuts. There is no way. I'm sorry. No. Then why wouldn't you do that all day long, sir? Right? Why wouldn't you do that all day long? You can make that much money door dashing. Like, there's no way. I've done DoorDash before. I live in a fucking expensive ass town. Believe me, you cannot make money like that doing it. If he really can, he should be making videos of himself doing it, double monetizing that. Double. I mean, even if you were in Detroit, I really don't think that you can make that much money door dashing. Like, DoorDash would advertise that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would be like, you can make $200 an hour or $100 an hour. Like, no, I'm sorry. They would, even if they had one person that did that one time, they would fucking quote that and cite it. Yeah, DoorDash might be a euphemism. That's a good point. Allegedly. Why you always lying? Why you fucking lying?
During the school day, so and then when that situation came up that we never agreed upon me picking up Isadora that one day, because she already was informed that I wasn't going to be able to get her. She actually got a ride from one of her school friends' parents who stay right down the street from my house. She did something herself. She planned that herself. She never contacted me, never contacted her mother. That was her situation. I was at the school.
Do you have a home to live in right now?
Yes.
And where's that?
I don't know the exact address, but it's right across the street from Franklin Plaza or Inn, one of the two.
Okay.
I'm not sure which one of those is.
And it's week on, week off.
Yes,
You don't wish to exercise that anymore?
I most definitely do. It was a situation where Electra had explained to me that she wasn't comfortable, or Isadora wasn't comfortable with the situation. And after that last court date, Electra had stated, since you do not have your own.
Night, Bev. Thanks again for your support. Appreciate you.
Own home, I am currently available to help you with Isadora every day until you get your place. And then at some point in time, everything just started popping up in a bubble. Like, she knew I was sick. She knew I wasn't able to get back and forth to work. If she would have dropped Isadora off during that time, that would have been perfectly fine, but I could not get in my vehicle and go anywhere.
So you have your own place then?
No, I'm staying with the friend. It's a 5-bedroom house. Only 3 bedrooms are occupied. There's 2 available bedrooms for Isadora.
Is that your permanent place at this point?
Yes, I've been there ever since I lost my place.
What about the thoughts of a home inspection? Ms. Boyce, what do you think about a home inspection?
I would be fine with that.
And relative to week parenting time, I mean, can you do it?
Yes.
How old is I right now?
11.
11?
Yeah, she just turned 11 yesterday.
I think she just had a birthday. I recall that. What about the thoughts of the court and the front of the court meeting with child?
Night, Miss Vicky. Thanks for all your help always. Have a great night and all your comments. I hope they're not squatting, but that does come to mind. The poor child's birthday was yesterday. Jesus Christ.
discuss this.
I requested that they do, so that way they could get her side of the story as well.
Mr. Williams was nodding his head.
Comfortable with that.
You're comfortable with that? Okay. Court will take the matter under advisement, but in the meantime, the court is going to order a home inspection relative to Mr. Williams' current living arrangements. And we'll do an in-camera session with and get I's feedback regarding this, and then we can reconvene.
I would imagine the friend of the court can conduct the home inspection since it's right here in town fairly quickly. As Mr. Williams will be in the area, I would defer to the court scheduling for the interview.
Okay.
Even listen, even in the most populated of cities, you cannot make that much money doing that on one app. You can't. You cannot. No, you can't. You just can't. It's just a weird thing to say. I mean, you can delude yourself that you're gonna make that kind of money. Be like, it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. Even illegally, you know how much hustle that is to sell that much drugs, you guys? It's a lot. You know? Like, even hustling drugs, like, you can make a couple $100, but anyways, whatever. Let's just keep you can make $200 up to $200 per hour stealing Amazon packages. Can
we hear this over here in 2 weeks? 14th or the 28th, which date would be better for each of you?
Could we do the 28th?
Mr. Williams nodding. Okay.
Okay.
We'll reconvene June 28th, 9 a.m. Prior orders remain in effect. Mr. Williams, you need to schedule with the friend of the court the home inspection. And what we'll do is I'll ask kindly of Ms. Schultz's office to coordinate a time we can child as well. I would appreciate that. Then we'll go from there. Is that fair? Both parties?
And then in the meantime, the parenting time would be the continued week on, week off?
Yes. Continue prior to remain in effect. And I can understand the work situation, Mr. Williams, but when it comes to having time with your child, that's numero uno as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, we'll take it from there. Okay. We'll see you back then on the 28th of June. That'll conclude the matter. Thank you both.
Thank you.
It's Friday night. We're just like starting, so I'm gonna pull out another one from the archives here. But please just understand that I will probably it'll make me freeze a little bit. Let's put him back on. So, oh wait, hold on. I want this guy so that I don't look. Where is he? Ugh, whatever. Whatever. Give me a second. Why you fucking lying? I think it's this one. Is it cold here where I live, Vince? Is that what you're asking? Or in Michigan? I don't know. Where I live, no, it's not cold. It's hot. Wait, where is it? Oh, I've added too much. Oh no, does it not? It doesn't have any audio. Well, we're not going to add our own audio. Oh, I might have a Creed frame because of adding videos. I think we already did Crystal. We already did Crystal. That's what she said.
It's okay. I'm like,
Okay, I don't know what this is at all. That's an old lady court reporter. That's awesome. Another corn one. You know what is funny? We may, you know. I don't think so. I live on Vancouver Island, on the west coast of Canada. Canada. Let me remove some of these. Okay. Okay.
I'm in right now.
Yeah, this is Texas, and
Well,
this
they're here.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. Daniel Hill,
Okay.
please.
I've been to Chicago.
Did you hear about the insurance guy that came into the building and said, "Do you know how to get to the roof?" And the response was, I don't know. I've never been that depressed." Oh, Mr. Hill, how are you today?
Doing all right.
All right. Or were you on YouTube Live?
We're all live, we're ready.
This is the 223rd Judicial District Court, Gray County, Texas, proceeding via Zoom via video conference under the applicable provisions of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure with the consent of the state attorney, the defendant's attorney, and the defendant. Would call for trial cause number 12321, State of Texas versus Daniel James Hill. How says the state?
State is ready, Your Honor.
Defense.
We are ready, Your Honor, and will waive the reading of the charging instrument.
You are Daniel James Hill?
Yes, sir.
Have you read the indictment, Mr. Hill?
Yes, sir.
Is your name correctly set forth in that indictment?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's see, the court will take judicial notice of the completion and examination, the competency evaluation and its results. Ms. Archer, do you believe that your client is competent to stand trial?
I do, Your Honor. I had a chance to meet with him in person and we discussed the case and the plea, and I do believe he's fully competent.
All right. Mr. Hill, the court has before it certain documents, a plea bargain and recommendation, a document entitled Written Plea Admonishments, an acknowledgement of compliance with Article 3914 Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, a trial court's certification of defendant's right to appeal, a waiver of jury, a waiver of appeal, a waiver and stipulation of evidence, a waiver of risk and needs assessment, and a waiver of extradition. Are you familiar with each of those documents?
Yes, sir.
Have you been over the terms of those documents with your attorney, Ms. Archer? Have you gone over those documents with Ms. Archer, your
Yes,
lawyer?
sir.
All right. Do you have a clear understanding of what's contained in those documents? You know what's in them?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did you sign them?
I did.
And did you sign them voluntarily, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. The offense with which
It does, Vince, because in fact it's Texas and they follow a very similar script. I was like, this does sound a lot like Judge Boyd. She says it in such a cadence. I love Judge Boyd too, but you know, Texas is full of these little pockets of really southern judges that I love listening to. One of my first loves of online court, was watching Texas CPS cases during the pandemic. Oh, nothing fucking better. I mean, seriously, some of the biggest drama I've ever seen.
you stand charged, assault of a pregnant person is a third-degree felony. The penalty upon conviction of a third-degree felony, confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for any term of not more than 10 years or less than 2 years. In addition, the court may assess a fine not to exceed $10,000. having waived the reading of the indictment, having been informed of the penalty for the offense, what is your plea to the charge as contained in the indictment?
Guilty.
Mr. McDonough?
Thank you, Your Honor. Based on the defendant's plea of guilty to the charge, the state recommends this court find the evidence indicates his guilt, placing him on 4 years deferred adjudication probation. He'd be ordered to pay a fine of $1,500, reimbursement fees of $800, ordered to perform 160 hours of community service, and the defendant must attend and successfully complete BIP, Batterers Intervention and Prevention Program as a term and condition of probation. The state now offers agreed waiver and stipulation of evidence.
Any objection?
No objection.
Stipulation of evidence then is approved and is admitted. Ms. Archer, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Your Honor, and I also believe Mr. McDonough agreed to dismiss another case of Mr. Hill's.
Is that correct, Mr. McDonough?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Hill, is that also your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, sir.
All right. Any other statements or questions on behalf of the state?
None from the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Nothing further.
All right. Mr. Hill, the court does make a finding today that the evidence in fact substantiates your guilt of the offense charged. I will announce to you, sir, we'll follow the agreed plea recommendation, plea bargain agreement. We'll defer a final adjudication of guilt, assessment of punishment, pronouncement of sentence at this time, finding that your best interest and the best interest of society will be served by deferring further proceedings without an adjudication of guilt. Please understand, as long as you are in compliance with the terms and conditions of probation, at the expiration of that probationary period, the charge pending against you will be dismissed and you will be discharged. Do you understand the opportunity that presents for you, sir?
Yes, sir.
And you also understand it's all on you,
Yes, sir.
that you're the only one who can complete the terms and conditions of probation.
Yes, sir.
Please understand that if a motion to proceed to adjudication is filed and guilt is ultimately adjudicated, the entire punishment range of a third-degree felony is open to the court, and you understand that as well, do you not, sir?
I do, sir.
All right. Now, can you afford to pay the $1,500 fine, $800 in reimbursement fees over the 4-year period as agreed?
Yes, sir.
All right. Court then at this time places you on deferred adjudication probation for a period of 4 years on the terms and conditions as set out in this court's order granting probation, including that you attend and successfully complete as a term and condition of probation a Batterers Intervention Prevention Program. Court further assesses a fine of $1,500, orders $800 in reimbursement fees, and it orders you to perform 160 hours of community service. You are directed to report to the Gray County Community Supervision and Corrections Department, which is on the 4th floor of the Gray County Courthouse when you are discharged. That's right across the street from the Gray County Jail. When you get discharged from the jail, you need to make a beeline over to the 4th floor of the courthouse. Do you see Miss Morgan sitting there on the screen? You want to wave at him?
Yeah.
All right. She will be waiting for you in the 4th floor now of the Gray County Courthouse. Please understand that if you do not come over here directly and do not meet with her to go over the terms and conditions of probation and otherwise do the intake with adult probation, then you may be subject to a motion to proceed in revocation of your probation. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Be sure that when you leave Ms. Morgan's office that you have a good, clear understanding of all of your duties and obligations under probation. Anything else on behalf of the state?
None from the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
I have nothing further.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Hill. That concludes these proceedings. Stay safe.
And who would we have next, Judge?
Munoz?
Okay.
Leslie Garrett. The court calls, cause number 12032, State of Texas versus Leslie Garrett Munoz on the state's motion to proceed with an adjudication of guilt. How says the state?
State is ready, Your Honor.
Defense?
The defense is ready and will waive the reading of the indictment.
All right. You are Leslie Garrett Munoz.
Yes, sir.
Have you read the motion to proceed, Ms. Munoz?
Yes, sir.
Is your name correctly set forth in that motion?
Yes, sir.
You are familiar with the allegations contained in that motion?
Yes, sir.
As to those allegations, how do you plead, true or not true?
True.
Mr. McDonough?
Thank you, Your Honor. Based on the defendant's pleas of true to the allegations contained in the state's motion to proceed, the state recommends this court revoke the defendant's probation and sentence her to 5 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division. She be ordered to pay original fine of $2,500 and reimbursement fees of $80.
Miss Archer, does that represent the agreement as you understand it?
It is, Your Honor.
And Miss Munoz, is that also your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, sir.
Any other statements?
None from the state, Your Honor.
I have nothing further.
All right. Ms. Munoz, based upon your plea then of true to the counts contained in the state's motion, the court does find those counts in fact to be true. The probation previously received by you, ma'am, is hereby revoked. The court finds you guilty of the original offense as originally charged in this cause number 12032, assesses your punishment at 5 years confinement in the Institutional Division, Texas Department of Criminal Justice, with a $2,500 fine and ordering $800 in reimbursement fees. Do you have anything to say, ma'am and bar, at this time as to why sentence of this court should not be pronounced against you?
No, sir.
It is your this court then that you have been adjudged, having been adjudged guilty of the offense as charged in this cause number 12032, and whose punishment has been assessed at 5 years confinement in the Institutional Division, Texas Department of Criminal Justice, with a $2,500 fine and $800 in reimbursement fees, that you be delivered immediately by the sheriff of this county to the superintendent of the Institutional Division, Texas Department of Criminal Justice, where you shall be confined for a period of 5 years. You are remanded to jail, ma'am, until the sheriff can make arrangements for this sentence to be carried out. Anything else on behalf of the state?
None from the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Nothing further.
Good luck to you, Ms. Munoz. That concludes these proceedings.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right? Nobody seemed worried about that. Weird.
Ms. Moreno, how are you this afternoon?
Fine.
All right. Court calls for trial cause numbers. Well, first of all, any objection, counsel, to trying both of these matters at the same time?
I have no objection to that.
None from the state, Your Honor.
Court then calls for trial cause numbers 12471 and 12472. State of Texas versus Angela Christie Moreno. How says the state?
The state is ready in both causes, Your Honor.
Defense?
We're ready in both causes.
And will you waive reading of the information?
We'll waive the reading in both cases.
All right. You are Angela Christie Moreno.
Yes, sir.
Have you read the informations, Ms. Moreno?
Yes.
Is your name correctly set forth in each of the informations?
Yes.
In each of these matters, the court has before it certain documents: a plea bargain recommendation, a document entitled written plea admonishments, an acknowledgement of compliance with Article 3914 Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, a trial court certification of defendant's right to appeal, a waiver of indictment, a waiver of jury, a waiver of appeal, and a waiver and stipulation of evidence. Are you familiar with each and every one of those documents?
Yes.
Have you been over the terms and provisions of each of those documents with your attorney, Ms. Archer?
Yes, sir.
You have a clear understanding of what's contained in those documents?
Yes, sir.
Each of those documents shows your signature. Is that in fact your signature?
Yes, sir.
And did you sign each of those documents voluntarily, ma'am?
Yes, I did.
In cause number 12471, you've been charged with possession of a controlled substance, which in that instance is a third-degree felony. the penalty upon conviction of a third-degree felony confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for any term of not more than 10 years or less than 2 years. In addition, the court may assess a fine not to exceed $10,000. In cause number 12472, you've been charged with possession of a controlled substance, which in that instance is a second-degree felony. The penalty upon conviction of a second-degree felony, confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for any term of not more than 20 years or less than 2 years. In addition, the court may assess a fine not to exceed $10,000. Having waived the reading of each information, having waived presentment of each information to a grand jury of Gray County, and having been informed of the penalty for each offense, what are your pleas to the charges as contained in each information?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Mr. McDonough?
Thank you, Your Honor. And cause number 12471, based on the defendant's plea of guilty, the state recommends this court assess punishment at 2 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division. Should be ordered to pay a fine of $1,000, ordered to pay reimbursement fees of $850. In cause number 12472, based on the defendant's plea of guilty, the state recommends this court assess punishment at 2 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division. Should be ordered to pay a fine of $1,000, restitution of $180, and reimbursement fees of $850. The state now offers agreed waivers and stipulations of evidence in each cause.
Any objection?
No objection.
In each matter, then, each stipulation of evidence is approved and is admitted. Ms. Archer, is that your understanding of each agreement?
It is.
And Ms. Moreno, is that also your understanding of each agreement?
Yes, it is.
Any other statements or questions on behalf of the state?
None for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Nothing.
All right. Ms. Moreno, the court has heard the evidence. In the opinion of the court, you were guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of the charges contained in each information in cause numbers 12471 and 12472. I will announce to you, ma'am, I will follow the agreed plea recommendations, plea bargain agreements. Fix your punishment in cause number 124 confinement in the institutional division of justice with a $1,000 fine, $850 in reimbursement fees. And in cause number 12472 at 2 years confinement in the institutional division, Texas Department of Criminal Justice with a $1,000 fine, $180 in restitution, and $850 in reimbursement fees. Do you have anything to say, ma'am, at this time as to why sentence of this court should not be pronounced against you?
No, I don't.
All right. It is the order of this court then that you, Angela Christie Moreno, having been adjudged guilty of the offenses as charged in the informations in cause number 12471 and 12472, and whose punishment has been assessed in each matter at confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for a 2-year period. Those terms will run concurrently with a fine in each matter of $1,000 for a total of $2,000 in fines, reimbursement fees of $850 in each matter for a total of $1,700 in reimbursement fees, and then $180 in restitution in 12472 is ordered. That you be delivered immediately by the sheriff of this county to the superintendent of the institutional division, Texas Department of Criminal Justice, where you shall be confined for a period of 2 years. You are remanded to jail, ma'am, until the sheriff can make arrangements for these sentences to be carried out. Anything else on behalf of the state?
None for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Nothing further.
All right. Good luck to you, Ms. Moreno. That concludes these proceedings.
Thank you.
Take care.
Uh-huh.
All righty.
I apologize again for the delay.
Hey, that's all right.
I know the court tried to call you, Judge, but I don't know if they got a hold of you. Did they?
If who?
I was trying to have Judge Denny's coordinator call.
Oh, I thought we were going to hear all the deets. Anyways, weird. The guy who assaulted a pregnant lady gets out of jail. The 2 women, one who did what we don't understand, and then the other one who had drug possession, I think, 3rd degree, in jail for years. So If ever we don't know what's going on, we don't know what's going on. Guys, I hope that you had a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for being here. It's a 2K celebration that we had today. I will double check the numbers, check with YouTube Daddy, see if he's still happy about that. And then I'd be very excited. Thank you again. And remember, tomorrow we have a date, 50K party. Mikey's hosting, but it's bring your own drinks. So, but I will be there for sure. Let's have us a fun night, shall we? Yeah. And Larry Bieber being in Delaware. Oh gosh, jeez. You're bad. Loud. Thanks for being here as well. Thanks for being here. We do have a fun and good crowd. We're here every single night, except for some Saturday nights if I ever have a date. Spoiler alert. I never have a date. So it's every night. I love you guys. Remember, I love you. I'm proud of you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.